Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and Euro 2020 is finally on the horizon. Who's excited? Because I am really excited. I can't wait for Austria versus North Macedonia, Denmark versus Finland. I don't care who's playing, I'm excited for it. Euro fever has gripped the James Rutherford household, and I hope you're all as pumped as I am. But what I'm going to do today is simulate the entire tournament on Football Manager 2021. A lovely guy on Steam, Dodgy Game is his name, he's made a database with all the proper groups and venues, meaning we'll get the proper Euro 2020 experience. We simulated the tournament last summer back on Football Manager 2020 with a shock winner in Switzerland. But who will come out on top this time? Let's find out. And obviously this is just a Football Manager simulation. I'll be doing my actual ton predictions next week if that's something you want to see. So if you do, just let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, let's crack on. Okay, so here we are at the start of the tournament, the 11th of June 2021. As you can see, here are the groups in all of their glory. There's England in Group D alongside Scotland. In Group A we've got the Welsh taking on Turkey, Switzerland and Italy. And the group of death is obviously Group F, France, Germany, the holders Portugal, and poor old Hungary. Christ, they could be in for an absolute battering. The only thing with this database is the fixtures aren't exactly the same. So in real life, the tournament will kick off with Italy versus Turkey on Friday the 11th. In this instance, it's Italy versus Wales. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. What we're going to do now is simulate until the end of the group stages and see which teams make it into the second round. Right, here we are, the 24th of June 2021. The group stages are complete. 16 teams have made it through the second round. And my oh my, there's been a big old casualty in Group F. The world champions France, probably the favourites for the entire tournament, have crashed out. They didn't even get a single point. In 3 games, they lost each and every single one. They lost to Germany, they lost to Hungary, and they lost to the holders Portugal. France out in the group stages. What an absolute shock that is. It's like the time the Young Bucks got knocked out in the tag team tournament on Dynamite that time, back when AEW was exciting. Let's see if there's been any other major casualties. I mean, Wales coming rock bottom of their group, that's pretty disappointing, especially since the last time they made it to the semi-finals of the Euros. That'll knock them down a peg or two, because Christ, there was a lot of overhype when they made it to the Euros. I mean, even before they got to the semis, they were talking themselves up, especially when they went into that game against England. Luckily, England got the job done. Speaking of England, they've made it through. They didn't come top of their group. They came second behind Croatia. Scotland, they didn't make it through though. They got 3 points, but due to head-to-head record, they didn't make it into third place. That was the Czech Republic, who made it through. Elsewhere, Spain had to go through as one of the best placed third teams, coming behind Poland and Sweden. North Macedonia getting through, that's a pretty big surprise ahead of Ukraine and Austria. So who got 100% records? Belgium, Holland, and that's it. They're the only 2 teams to win every single game. I'm going to have a little look at how England's games went, just to see how they got on. Obviously, they are the team probably most of us are supporting. They kicked off the tournament with a 3-1 win over the Czech Republic. Raheem's 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, Sterling, Rashford, and then Mason Mount made it 3-0. They beat Scotland 3-2. At Wembley. That'll have been an absolutely thrilling game. It wasn't even at Wembley, it was at Hampton Park, but that doesn't matter. Ryan Jack got sent off. In fact, Scotland were actually 2-1 up for a point in time. What a first half that was. And then in the third game that decided for who topped the group, it was Croatia who won 3-2, again going down to 10 men. But it doesn't matter because England have made it through to the second round. Let's have a look at those second round fixtures, see who we've got facing each other. England will face Denmark, it's Turkey versus Poland, Sweden, Hungary, Switzerland, Portugal, Holland, Italy, a big game, probably the biggest of the round. Then it's Croatia, Spain, another big game, Germany, Czech Republic, and Belgium versus North Macedonia. There's going to be some smallish teams making it into the quarterfinals here, quite possibly. But what we will do, we will simulate another few days in the future, and let's see which teams conquer the second round and make it into the final 8. Right, here we are, the 30th of June 2021, and the second round has eliminated some big guns in this tournament. Most notably the holders, Portugal. They were beaten by Switzerland on penalties. Ronaldo and the holders have been knocked out in the second round. So for Italy, who were beaten 2-1 by the Netherlands. Croatia, they've knocked out Spain. I mean, that's not a massive surprise. Croatia is still a very good team, but I mean, Spain, as you can see there, they won it in 2012, they won it in 2008. This time, they've been knocked out in the second round. England, they made it through against Denmark. Let's have a little look at these games in a bit more detail. So England, fairly routine win over Denmark. Second half goals from Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane. For the Dutch, it was a Weghorst penalty, which made it 2-1, knocking out four-time World Cup winners Italy. Turkey, they've just got past Poland 1-0, a pretty tight affair. Croatia, Spain, it was a 2-0 lead for Croatia, Brozovic and Kovacic with the goals. Dani Olmo with a consolation for Spain. Sweden knocking out Hungary. I mean, Hungary, their tournament was made really after they made it through the group of death. And Germany, they knocked out the Czech Republic 4-0. Switzerland, that is a big result for the Swiss. They're the team that won this tournament in our 2020 simulation last year, for those of you that were watching the channel a year ago. Portugal did take the lead in that game, but they ended up being knocked out on penalties. And in the other game, there was nearly a surprise. Belgium actually went behind to North Macedonia, but one of the tournament favourites rallied. Goals from Eden Hazard and Dries Mertens put them into the quarterfinals. Let's simulate a few more days in the future. Let's see what happens in the quarterfinal stages of the European Championships. Right, here we are, the 4th of July 2021. The 4 quarterfinals have been completed, and unfortunately for England, the dream is over. They were beaten on penalties by the Dutch. Let's have a look in more detail how those quarterfinals went. The first game was Croatia versus Switzerland, and it was a 2-1 win for Croatia, the World Cup finalists, in extra time. A 120th minute penalty from Bruno Petkovic put Croatia into the semi-finals. Then it was England's turn. They took on Holland, and it was a 2-2 draw in normal time. Phil Foden with a brace, Calvin Stengs and Koop Miners with the goals for the Dutch. England were 2-0 up in this game, but the Netherlands pegged them back to 2-2. We played all of extra time, and it went to penalties, where Calvin Phillips missed the deciding spot kick for the 3 Lions. It was Daley Blind who made it 5-4 to the Dutch on penalties, and it was the Netherlands who went through. Absolute heartache for England, beaten in the quarter-finals. That is where the dream has died for the final home nation in the tournament. Scotland and Wales didn't make it through the groups. England did get through, but they couldn't get past the Dutch in the quarter-finals. As for the quarter-finals, one of the tournament favourites, Belgium, they somewhat eased past Sweden 4-2. Another exciting game in this tournament. There's been a lot of excitement going on here. A Romelu Lukaku hat-trick. And the main shock of the quarterfinals, Germany have been knocked out. They went 1-0 up against Turkey. Ali Akman got a goal back, it was 1-1, and Turkey have gone through the semi-finals on penalties. Another huge shock. So our semi-final lineup looks like this. It is going to be Belgium versus Croatia and Turkey versus the Netherlands. For me, that is a big surprise. I mean, out of those 4 teams, Belgium's the only one you think are nailed on to get the semis, surely. The other 3, something of a surprise. The fact there's no Italy, there's no England, there's no Germany, there's no France, there's no Portugal. This tournament has been something of a surprise. But what we will do, we will simulate a few more days in the future. Let's see how the semi-finals go and see exactly who is going to be playing in the European Championship final for 2020 in 2021. Right, here we are, the 8th of July 2021, and the semi-finals are complete. Competing in the European Championship final for 2021, the year-long delayed tournament will be Belgium and Holland. Holland won the tournament in 1988. That was the last time they tasted success, and they will be facing the golden generation of Belgium. Belgium's probably final chance to win a trophy with this golden generation, the likes of De Bruyne, Lukaku. Well, I suppose World Cup's not too far away, but the Euros, obviously you've got more chance of winning it with less competition from the likes of Brazil and Argentina. They will be facing Holland in the final. Let's have a look at the semis, see how they went. First up, it was Belgium versus Croatia, and it was a Romelu Lukaku hat-trick that put the Red Devils into the final. Kramaric did well, he got a brace, but Belgium have been unstoppable so far in this tournament. They'll be facing the Dutch, who also had a pretty routine route into the final. They beat Turkey 3-0. Koop Miners, Daniel Malen, and Newcastle United flop Luke de Jong getting on the score sheet. Luke de Jong was absolutely rubbish when he came to St James's Park. Honestly, I can't even remember him having a shot, never mind scoring a goal. But here he has scored in a European Championship semi-final, setting up a date with Belgium. That game will be happening on the 11th of July. So far, Lukaku looks like he's en route to win the Golden Boot, 7 goals. He's been one of the best players in the tournament. Harry Kane's got an average rating of 8.8, but I mean, since England got knocked out in the quarters, it's not really fair to say Harry Kane's been the best player of the tournament. You get 4 Man of the Match awards, which is pretty good. But it doesn't matter because England have been knocked out. All we've got left to do is see who comes out on top. Let's simulate another few days into the future. Let's see who wins the European Championship. Will it be Belgium? Will it be Holland? I'm gonna go with Belgium here. Let's simulate a few days into the future. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, here we are, the 12th of July 2021, and sadly, the Euros are over. But I was right, they have been won by Belgium. They absolutely blitzed the final, a 3-0 win over the Netherlands. It was pretty routine in the end. 3-0, Dries Mertens, Romelu Lukaku, and Leicester hero Yuri Tielemans, the man who scored the winner in the cup final. He's got another cup final goal here for Belgium as they won 3-0 against the Dutch. Roberto Martinez has done it. He has succeeded with this golden generation of Belgian talent, and they are the finest team Europe has got to offer. In the third place playoff, let's see was there even a third place playoff? Maybe there wasn't. Doesn't matter. Let's just say Croatia won it. The third place playoff's a pretty futile little thing, really. I mean, who wants to come third? At the end of the day, you haven't won. No one wants a third place medal, really, do they? But anyway, Belgium have done it. Romelu Lukaku wins the Golden Boot with 8 goals. His average rating 8.2. I mean, I think he's probably one player of the tournament because, you know, he made it all the way to the final and scored 8 goals. Simon Mignolet, 3 clean sheets. 4 Man of the Match awards from Romelu Lukaku. Calvin Stengs getting more assists than anyone. But it is Belgium who, at the end of the day, have conquered. They have done it. They've came ahead of France, the Netherlands, Germany, Italy, Spain, even England. And it is Belgium who won the final. Is the final going to be at Wembley? I think it's meant to be. Is it? I think that's right. Either way, it's Belgium who won it. But do you think in the comments below, are Belgium actually going to win it in reality? Like I say, I'll be doing my predictions in the next few days. Let me know in the comments below if that's something you want me to do, because if you don't, I'll not bother. But it's going to be somewhat different in this video. Do I think Belgium are going to win? To be honest, right now, I'm not really sure who are going to win it. But I suppose you'll have to wait until I do my I'm not even going to make my mind up until I've got to the final of the predictions. Right now, I haven't really got a clue who's going to win it. But for the FM21 simulation, it is Belgium who have came out on top. Well done to Roberto Martinez, well done to Romelu Lukaku, and well done to this virtual team of Belgium, the European Championship champions for 2021. Christ, that was a clunky finish, but we will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.